all these ETF players, yeah, they put their, they got their ducks in a row.
Yeah.
But again, it does take time. I mean, conversations need to take place. I mean, you don't just, have your RIA manager, call up all his clients day one and say, we're putting money into this thing. You've got to explain it. You've got to have written work that shows why it makes sense. You've got to talk about the Sharpe ratio. You've got to talk about historical performance. All these things, all these bricks need to be put into place, and they will be. And not in years, in weeks and months. And I think we haven't seen the God candle yet, but in my opinion, the God candle is coming because they will soak up the excess supply, and then they'll just keep buying. And as we know, 70% of the coins are in hands where it's not going to move.
Yeah.
So there's a limited supply. Because if you look at it historically, this halving, which is coming in April, as you know, the reward, the black reward for the miners is getting cut in half. Every 4 years that happens. I think that's going to make some big changes. And so my sense is we're going to see some fireworks here in the next 18 months.
Yeah.
What does that mean? How high? I'm not going to predict. I don't know. I mean, we're in the 40s, low 40s. I mean, I think 100 is kind of falling off a log. You got Samson Mao saying it's going to 1 million. You got Kaiser saying it's going to 200. I mean, that range is the potential.
Crypto family, welcome back to the channel. That was Lawrence Lepard giving you his thoughts on the Bitcoin ETF and his price prediction, where he sees it going this year. So in today's video, we're going to be getting into some recent Bitcoin news, giving you guys an update on the Bitcoin ETFs, also going over some on-chain data. Make sure to stay tuned to the end. Today's video may be a little clip heavy, but just stay tuned. Got some great clips coming your way. And agree with Jeff here. He says, you're not bullish enough. The 2014 to 2017 Bitcoin cycle went 64x from $250 low to a $16,000 top. And then in 2018 to 2021 cycle, it did a 20x from 3,500 to 70,000. The current cycle low is 16,000. So you can see here, if we do a 64x like we did from 2014 to 2017, that would be a $1 million Bitcoin. And then if we do anything similar to 2018 to 2021, that would be a $320,000 Bitcoin. And these were all achieved without ETFs, without easy on-ramps, without the institutional adoption, without regulatory clarity, without mass inflation, without corporate adoption, without governments using Bitcoin as a store of wealth like down in El Salvador. So this time is definitely different. So I agree with him, and Bitcoin is currently the best asymmetrical risk reward opportunity on earth. So if you're still bearish, the price is down right now, it'd be a great opportunity to just buy the dip, dollar cost average in if you've been waiting to get into BTC. Quick interruption here, guys. We just reopened our Patreon. We're doing $5 a month. There's only 7 spots remaining to be a crypto OG crew member. The price will definitely go up, but you get to direct message the Bitcoin bros, and you also get some other things here. You guys can check it out. And also you get the crypto airdrop spreadsheet that we created. It has over 50 cryptos in there with around 9 free crypto airdrops. So if you take advantage of those, you'll definitely get your money back plus more. So check it out. I'll leave the link in the comment section below. Now back to the video. And then an update on the Bitcoin ETF for the 20th of February. All the data is in. A solid day of $135 million of net inflows. So the Bitcoin ETFs still looking really, really strong. 17 days of consecutive inflows. And this is even with Genesis getting their court approval to sell $1.6 billion in Bitcoin. So we're not even seeing outflows of all that. We're still seeing inflows. This is very, very bullish to see. And if we continue to see all these inflows throughout the rest of the year, $100 million a day, that would be huge for BTC, and the price would probably go up. And then to check out some on-chain data here, and this is the Bitcoin Pi cycle indicator top here. And I want to show you guys because it has been very accurate at calling the Bitcoin tops. Back here in 2014, you can see when the purple line goes below the blue line, that is basically calling the Bitcoin top. So we saw that here in 2017 as well. And we saw it again in April of 2017, which was really the Bitcoin top. Bitcoin did hit around $70,000 in November, but that's because a lot of the manipulation that FTX was doing, there wasn't as much volume as there was back in April. And right now we're nowhere close to that. So people are thinking, hey, Bitcoin's overbought right now, we should be selling. But right now, I mean, there's not a lot of retail interest. The pi cycle indicator top is nowhere close to flipping at all. I mean, the length between these lines is looking very similar to back to what we were seeing in 2020. So right now, you shouldn't be scared to be buying into Bitcoin thinking that it's overbought. Did we hit a local top? Potentially, yes. But I think right now, it's still a great time to get in dollar cost average, and you don't want to be missing out on Bitcoin if it's going to be going to $100,000 or $200,000 this cycle. And then this indicator here is huge. This is when we show you guys all the time the Bitcoin balance on exchanges. You can see right here, it is continuing to go down and down and down at an unprecedented pace since these ETFs have came out. So the Bitcoin balance on exchanges is just falling huge. And this is probably going to cause a supply shock. If these ETFs continue to gobble up all this Bitcoin and we still have retail continuing to buy all this BTC with the halving coming in a couple of months, there's going to be a major supply shock that Bitcoin's price is only going to have one option. It's going to have to go up because there's just too much demand and just not enough supply. And then just to follow that up, 80% of Bitcoin hasn't moved in 6 months or longer. So this is the most illiquid Bitcoin has been since the bear market bottom in 2022. So people right now aren't selling Bitcoin. There's a lot of strong hands in the market. And it's just going along with this supply shock theory that people aren't going to sell their Bitcoin. And Michael Saylor's like, never sell your Bitcoin. He's never going to sell it. And most of these people putting in into the ETFs are probably going to be putting it into retirement accounts. They're not going to be selling their Bitcoin. They're not going to be trading it. So right now, it just seems like all of these catalysts are coming for Bitcoin, along with potential lowering of the interest rates this year, could really push Bitcoin up to that 6-figure level. And then I thought this was pretty interesting here, looking at the stock to flow chart. A lot of people hated on the stock to flow chart from Plan B, but right now it's getting back up to levels that it actually makes sense. And it looks like the model is still playing out, even though we did have that bear market in 2022 and it was looking like the stock to flow model wasn't going to pan out. But look at it now. It's right back up to that line around $50,000. And I know that the stock to flow model has been revised a couple of times, but right now, it's looking like this model could play out, and this would be around a $700,000 Bitcoin around 2026. That would be crazy. And then Jeff Booth here giving a huge Bitcoin price prediction. I want to play this clip for you guys. Let's go ahead and check it out.
So what's different here is the $900 trillion of global wealth. Imagine you have a percentage of that ledger, right? And you could say, like, if Mark Moss has $1 million, you could just calculate exactly what percent you have of that ledger. If that ledger is 1.5 quadrillion tomorrow, because there's a whole bunch more manipulation of money, and your part of that ledger doesn't go up by that amount, you lost money, but you didn't know you lost money.
Sure.
That's what you're living in. And that's what everyone is pricing theirs in. And when they naturally say, what is Bitcoin price in this ledger? They're making that calculation error. When I say it's saying decentralized and secure on the base ledger, then it is inevitable if it stays decentralized and secure. It reprices everything in the 900 trillion. So you could say, how much of a percentage of 21 million do I have for all of time? And compare and contrast how much do you need for your lifestyle. If you can hold it decentralized and secure, it will reprice everything else.
Basically, this number here, the $42 million, he's saying that there's going to be $900 trillion denominated in Bitcoin, 21 million Bitcoin. That's how you get that price there. So if you can at least even get 0.1 Bitcoin in the future, according to Jeff Booth, you'll be a multi-millionaire. And then to go over some TA here, Bitcoin has fallen down here a little bit over the past day. And currently the levels that we're looking at is around the $50,000 level and the high around $52,000. If we go below 50K, we could see some lower levels. The next resistance level is going to be around $47,000. There's a lot of support there at that level, but we're seeing some resistance at 53,000. So don't panic. We're still just consolidating here. And Bitcoin's just moving around between 53,000 and 50K. And as long as we don't go below 50K, we probably won't see Bitcoin hit any of these lower levels anytime soon, especially with all this demand from these ETFs. And then I wanted to leave you guys with a clip. This is Pretty quick video here, pretty clip heavy. So this is from Tom Lee. He's saying Bitcoin is sound money. He also gives his price prediction for Bitcoin this year. So check this out. If you found any value in today's video, make sure to hit that like button. And let's go ahead and play the clip.
I teased Bitcoin because I have no idea. I don't know what it's trading on. Maybe, I don't know what you think it's trading on now. The ETF, obviously, that was something. Usually it likes the Fed to ease, so you just said some positive things about that maybe for more printing. But I said, and I was just throwing out a number. We're at 50. I said, what you said it might be strong for the remainder of the year.
Yes.
I said 75. What did you say to me?
I think it's, could be as high as 150,000 this year.
So double what I thought was.
Yeah.
150,000, so we're tripling at this point.
Yeah, because you've got demand improving with the ETF, and you have the supply shrinking with the halvening. And if monetary policy eases, which we expect, that's supportive of risk assets. And Bitcoin's holding up. That's another reason why I don't think a drawdown's going to start that soon. Bitcoin's been rallying the last couple weeks.
Wow. So take that to the bank.
Those are big numbers. I don't know anymore.
And are you in, hold on, let me just go back. Are you in the camp of this is like a $500,000 valued?
Over the next...
Over 5 years, are you?
Yeah, it is sound money. And I think it's proving to be useful. And
Proving to be useful how?
Well,
it's very useful if you're an investor right now.
Yes, it's been a great store of value. It's been a good risk asset. It's also incredibly secure. There hasn't been a single fraudulent entry on the blockchain since inception. I don't think any bank can say that's true of their P&L and accounting. 6% of banking transactions are suspicious, 0% on the Bitcoin.
What did